Hello everyone, welcome to this session on how to pass AWS Certified SysOps Admin Associate exam. So in this session, we'll get to know how to pass the exam, how to prepare for it, and to get AWS certified. A brief introduction about myself. My name is Raahat Varma. I'm 3x AWS certified and a Matrix certified engineer. I work at Ethnos as an intern in training delivery AWS. So the agenda of this session is to know the AWS certification benefits, the available AWS certifications, the AWS Certified SysOps Admin Associate, its learning path, some of the resources, the exam blueprint, so the job associated with the role, and some sample questions. So why get an AWS certification? So first of all, you can validate your technical skills. So you might have some skills on the cloud or you might know about AWS, but to get AWS certified is a different thing. So these certifications are globally valid, so they are equally valued all around the world. Third is boosts your profile. So it boosts your profile because the certification is an added advantage and it is valued by employers all around the world. Number 4 is higher paychecks. So having a certification in your profile, you can get a better salary than average. 5th is access to join AWS LinkedIn community. So there is a certified LinkedIn community on LinkedIn, AWS certified community on LinkedIn. If you get certified, you are eligible to join that community. So in that community you can connect with the people who are certified and you can enhance your network and skills by connecting to those people. And you are eligible to become a SME expert. So there is a program called Subject Matter Expert program, so you can enroll into it after getting certified. So these are the AWS certifications available. So number 1 is foundational, that is AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner. So this is a foundational certification. So you need 6 months of fundamental of AWS cloud and industry knowledge. Then comes the associate, 1 year of experience solving problems and implementing solutions using the cloud. So there are 3 associates: SysOps Admin, Developer Associate, and Solutions Architect Associate. Then comes the professional certifications. So you need 2 years of experience designing, operating, and troubleshooting solutions using the AWS cloud. So there are 2 professional certifications: Solutions Architect Professional and DevOps Engineer Professional. Then the last is the specialty certifications. So these are certification on the domain. So these are domain specified certifications. So there is advanced networking, data analytics, databases, machine learning, security, and SAP on AWS. So we will be talking about the SysOps Admin Associate here. So who can take the exam? So SysOps Admin Associate is attended for the system administrators in cloud operation roles to validate their technical skills. So minimum of 1 year is 1 year of hands-on is required. So the cloud practitioner certification is also recommended, but it is optional. So you must have experience deploying, managing, and operating workloads on AWS, as well as implementing security controls and compliance requirements. You should be familiar by using the both AWS Management Console and AWS CLI. So you should have an understanding of AWS well-architected framework as well as AWS networking and security services. So how to prepare for the certification? So there are several resources available for the certification. There are white papers, there are videos regarding the course, there are guided labs, there are self-paced labs. So we'll talk about the resources. So this is the learning path of AWS Certified SysOps Admin Associate. So as you can see, first of all, you have to clear the AWS technical essentials. You should know about AWS, its services, how it works. Then there is system operations on AWS. You should know how the operation is done, how the auditing, compliance, everything is done. Then you can go for the AWS white papers of the SysOps Admin Associate exam, and then you can get AWS certified SysOps Administrator Associate. So this is the most technical certification of the AWS in the associate level. So the AWS CCP is optional, but it is recommended, and you can also watch the free digital training at aws.training.com. So now let's talk about the resources. So number one is AWS Skill Builder. So you can validate your skills on specific services in this skill builder site. There are self-paced labs, so you can perform labs on AWS. You can see how the services work. You can create your own services. You can use them, and you will get a good idea of how AWS works and how to use AWS Management Console. Then are the FAQs, frequently asked questions. So you can see those questions and see what the exam asks, what question comes up in the exam, and you can learn topic wise. Then there are the white papers. So these are the notes of the certification. So you can go to the site and you can see the white papers. You can read about the specific services there and how to prepare for the specific particular certification. Then comes the documentation. So if you want to use the user guides, developer guides, or tutorials for any services, you can check out the documentation of AWS, which will guide you and give you guidance for implementing various solutions on AWS. You can also attend events and webinars to expand your knowledge on AWS. So these events and webinars are organized by AWS itself on some particular topic or some specific service or a specific lab. So you can enhance your knowledge by attending these events and webinars. Then there are the exam guide and sample questions. So before starting the preparation of the exam, you must see the exam guide and must see the sample questions, what kind of questions are asked in the exam. So this will give you a good idea. So and you can pass your exam with good marks. Then there is the ramp up guide. So these include variety of resources to help you build your skills and knowledge of AWS Cloud. So you must check out the ramp up guide for that particular role. So for solutions architect, you should check that. For SysOps, you can check the ramp up guide for SysOps admin. So this is the exam blueprint. The level is associate. The length is 180 minutes. The cost is $150. And the format is there can be 65 multiple choice question, multiple response question. So or there can be also labs. So there can be 3 labs in the exam, in which you have to do the 2 labs right. So these are the simple labs. So these are the guided labs only. So there are the instructions given on the right hand side, and you have to see the instructions and you have to perform the lab. So the exam is of 1000 marks and 720 marks you should score at least for passing the exam. So now let's talk about the sample questions of the AWS Certified SysOps Associate exam. So question number 1 is, employees in an IT department have been using individual AWS accounts that are not under control of the company. The security department has requested that these accounts be linked to the central organization in AWS Organization. Which action should a SysOps admin take to accomplish this? So the options are send each existing account an invitation from the central organization, add each existing account to the central organization using AWS IAM, create a new organization in each account and join them to the central organization, and log into the each existing account and add them to the central organization. So these are the 4 options given, and this is question given. So you must look for the keywords. So look for the keywords in the question and use the eliminating method for the answers. So eliminate those answers which are not even linked to the question. So here the keywords are central organization and AWS organization. So you must know what is AWS organization. So these are the keywords. So the answer is send an existing account and an invitation from the central organization. Why? So the easiest way to achieve this objective is for the SysOps Administrator to simply send an invitation from the central organization to each individual AWS account. So when you invite an account, AWS organization sends an invitation to the account owner, who decides whether to accept or decline the invitation. So if you are the admin of the AWS account, you can then accept or decline the invitation from the organization. So if you accept the invitation, your account becomes a member of the organization. The account is then subject to the controls of the central organization, which is what the security team requires. So the answer is option A, send each existing account an invitation from the central organization account. So you are setting a VPC. Second question, you are setting a VPC that you must need to set up in a public subnet. Within that VPC, which of the following requirement must be met for this subnet to be considered a public subnet? So options are none of these answers can be considered a public subnet. Subnet traffic is routed to an internet gateway. Subnet traffic is not routed to an internet gateway but has its traffic routed to a virtual private gateway. And the last option is subnet's traffic is not routed to an internet gateway. So look for the keywords. So the keywords here are public subnet. So the question is, you must make a public subnet. So and you have to give it to you have to give internet access to it. So our best guess is the subnet traffic is routed to an internet gateway. So this makes when we attach an internet gateway to a subnet, so it makes the subnet public. So anybody can use the internet gateway to connect to the subnet. So the answer is B. Subnet traffic is routed to an internet gateway. So these are the requirements if you want to make a public subnet. So you must attach an internet gateway to it. If you want to make a private subnet and then attach a NAT gateway to it. Next question is, a company SysOps Administrator received a notification from AWS that an Amazon EC2 instance is on a degraded host and that is scheduled for retirement. The retirement occurs during business critical hours. What can be done to minimize disruption? So these are the options. Start the instance outside business hours to move a new host before the scheduled retirement. Restart the EC2 instance as immediately to ensure the application is not taken offline when the host is retired. Write an AWS Lambda function to migrate the EC2 instance between hosts. Run the function prior to the scheduled retirement and outside of business hours. Last is restart the instance outside business hours to perform the system maintenance before the scheduled retirement. So if we look for the hints, the Amazon EC2 instance on a degraded host that is scheduled for retirement. So this is the hint. So when you start or stop the instance, so it automatically moves on the new host every time. So our best guess is option A, to start and stop the instance outside business hours to move a new host before the scheduled retirement. So this will minimize the disruption, and the answer is also this. So the explanation is when you stop and start an Amazon EC2 instance, it is typically moved to a different underlying host. So this is the best way to ensure that the instance is moved off the host that is scheduled for retirement. Third question is, an Amazon EC2 autoscaling group failed to launch an EC2 instance with the error message, the AMI ID does not exist. What action should be taken to resolve the issue and enable the ASG to launch new instance? So the option A is add an alias for the AMI ID pointing to valid AMI, create a new AMI with the same AMI ID, update the launch configuration with the valid AMI ID, create a new launch configuration using the valid AMI ID. So the keyword here is the AMI ID does not exist. So here the error message indicates that the AMI ID might have been deleted after creating the launch configuration, as it is not possible to update launch configuration. So what can be done? So it is not possible to update the launch configuration. So the option is D. So we must create a new launch configuration using the valid AMI ID. The answer is also D. Next question is, a SysOps admin launched an EC2 instance and noticed it went from the pending state to the terminated state immediately after starting it. What is the possible cause of the issue? So here the keyword is the pending state to the terminated state immediately after starting. So the options are the root EBS volume is encrypted and the administrator does not have permissions to access the KMS key for description. So the second option is the limit on the number of instances that can be launched in the region has been exceeded. AWS does not currently have enough available on-demand capacity to service the request. And the last is the API actions for launching the specific instance type has been restricted in the AWS account. So you can eliminate the second option and the third option, because if the limit has been exceeded, so it will give an error, the instance limit exceeded. So this is not the option. And AWS does not currently have enough available on-demand capacity. This is also not the correct option. So you have to choose between A and D. So there are some following reasons. So when the EC2 instance move from pending to terminated state, so you have reach your EBS volume limit. That can be the reason. EBS snapshot is corrupt. That can also be the reason. And other reason is the root EBS volume is encrypted and you do not have permissions to access the KMS key for decryption. So the option is A. The administrator does not have permission to access the KMS key for decryption. Next question is, a company uses an AWS Storage Gateway volume gateway. The virtual machine running the AWS Storage Gateway must be rebooted. What is the correct process for rebooting the VM? So number 1 is reboot the gateway, then reboot the virtual machine. 2 is stop the virtual machine, restart the gateway, and then turn on the virtual machine. 3rd is stop the gateway, reboot the virtual machine, then restart the gateway. And 4th is synchronize the gateway, then reboot the virtual machine. So here look for the hints. The correct process for rebooting the VM. So to reboot the VM, we might need to shut down or reboot your VM from maintenance, such as when applying patch to our hypervisor. So before we shut down the VM, we must stop our gateway. So we are using here volume gateway, but for the file gateway, we just shut down our VM. But for the volume and tape gateway, we first stop the gateway, we then reboot the virtual machine, and then we restart the gateway. So this is the correct process for rebooting the VM when using volume gateway or tape gateway. So the last question is, an application is being deployed that hosts highly sensitive data that must not be leaked outside of the company. A security team has asked a SysOps admin to configure the environment to address this concern. How can the admin ensure that the servers in the VPC cannot send traffic to the internet? So this is the hint: the VPC cannot send the traffic to the internet. So these are the options: launch the EC2 instance in private subnet, ensure that the servers do not have elastic IP addresses, create a black hole NAT gateway that prevents outbound access, or use instances store to ensure there is no persistent data. So what can be the easiest way? So the easiest way can be to launch the instances in a private subnet. So the subnet should not have a NAT gateway or NAT instance entry in the subnet route table. This ensures that there is no possibility that the instance can connect to the internet and leak sensitive data. So the option is A, launch the EC2 instances in a private subnet. So these were some sample questions of the AWS certified SysOps admin exam. So you can expect these type of scenario based questions in the exam. So let's talk about the job roles here. Number one is cloud engineer. So you can become a cloud engineer after getting AWS certified. So you can become a AWS cloud engineer and you can earn up to 8 lakhs per annum as a fresher in this particular job role. Then you can become a SysOps administrator. So you can earn also 8 to 10 lakhs per annum as a fresher in this role. Then you can also go for cloud architect, cloud support associate, cloud support engineer, subject matter expert, solutions architect, etc. So SysOps administrator and anyone who is AWS certified, companies pay a lot to them. So this is the top 10 best paid IT certification in the United States, this AWS SysOps admin certification, and you can earn up to $150,000 a year on average. So now let's talk about the mode of exam. So these are two modes, offline and online. So both can be done on Pearson VUE or PSI. So if you want to do the exam, just visit this aws.trading website. So in the offline mode, you have to go to a center and give the exam offline. In the online mode, that is a proctored exam. So you have to turn your webcam and you have to turn on your mic. You have to you have to sit in a quiet environment. You have to clear your surroundings. There should not be a phone, laptop or TV nearby, and you are monitored throughout the exam. So these are some exam accommodations. You can get 30 minutes extra for exam if you are non-English speaker. And you can get when you get a certification, you also get a 50% discount for the next certification. So if you did the CCP, you must have the 50% discount coupon for the associate level certifications. You get a Credly badge for the certifications, and you also get a t-shirt and goodies if you are AWS certified. So thank you for joining the session. In this session, we learned about how to pass the AWS certified SysOps Administrator Associate exam. So thank you and happy learning.